Okay. Hey, I'm glad you're doing this. I'm glad we're doing this. I really had to talk myself into it because I don't feel like super energized right now. So let's just feel it out and see how this goes. Close your eyes. You can get into child's pose, you can sit, you can kneel, you know the drill. You always have options and you can do whatever you want to do to feel connected. Once you find your place, take a couple of more deliberate and full breaths. Lately I've been imagining that my interior, like all of my insides, are as spacious as possible. And I'm trying to remind myself that my interior, my insides, have the capacity and the ability to hold and nurture all of the different feelings that we have. Sometimes I feel like a total lunatic because of how many different ranges and degrees of feelings that I felt throughout the day, from like a low, all the way up to like a high mountaintop. But that's natural. That's just life. So trust that you have the capacity to handle whatever's moving through you right now. And we'll start to move with it. Take one more really deep breath in through your nose here. Try to open up your mouth and give that back a little bit of sound, like blink your eyes open. Next time you inhale, reach your arms up in the air. And when you exhale, spread your fingers and bend your elbows and arch your back. Stay here, take a breath in. As you breathe out, round your back. Bring your pinkies and your forearms to touch in front of you and tuck your chin down to your chest. And as you inhale, pull your arms back. Pull your thumbs back, lift your face and open your heart up. And then do that twice more. When you exhale, flex your back, round your spine and tuck your tail. And then lift and open up. And one more time, flex and round your back. This time, when you open up, take your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, pull your elbows back, and then move freely. Like you could tilt side to side or take like cat-cow kind of motions. You could take circles through your whole spine. Now keep your arms, lift up through your spine, and use strong side bodies to turn to your right. I'm trying to mirror you. Back to center. Inhale. To your left. And then keep the fingers interlaced. Turn back to center and stretch your palms inside out up to the ceiling and tilt over to your right. And then center. And tilt over to your left. And then center, big inhale. Break your hands apart and take your elbows down to your waist. Pull your elbows back to the wall behind you and try to open up some more heart space. Inhale, lengthen your spine up. And when you exhale, tilt your right ear to your right shoulder and let your left eye look up at the ceiling a little bit. Keep all of that and just nod your head. The energy of the heads of the arm moves is down. Arms are back, and we'll try to move sensation all through this left side of your neck. And then let it change. Draw your head back. Lean left ear, left shoulder. Your right eye tilts up a little bit to the ceiling. And then with all of that still happening, nod your head gently. We tend to lean towards what we're focused on. So if it's a phone or a computer or a person, whatever, you throw your spine off, roll your head in a circle, drop your hands down to your thighs, slowly move the weight that you balance at the tip of the spine all the way around. And then move it the other way. So you balance about 8 to 10 pounds in your head all the time, all day long. And then let that trickle all the way down your whole spine so that you're moving all the way around and feeling what kind of mobility you have here. And I genuinely think that we don't give ourselves enough credit for how much we're balancing and how much we're carrying all the time. There's this wonderful priest that I tell you about all the time. His name's Gregory Boyle. And let that circle go the other way. And he talks about how we're meant to develop a compassion that stands in awe of what people have to carry every day, rather than judging how they choose to carry it. And that includes yourself. Try not to judge how you're carrying your shit right now, okay? Let all that stop. Untangle your legs and take your legs out in front of you. Look at your feet and just roll your ankles out. And let it go the other way. All right, bring your right foot in. I'm gonna stop mirroring you. So that was fun while it lasted. Bring your right leg in and let your left leg extend out long in front of you. Try to face your left leg and fold over that leg to the best of your ability. And see what that's like for your left hamstring and your right hip. Now, if you're super sore today, for whatever reason, stay in the stretch. If you want the strengthening action, take the hands to prayer, sit up, hug your ribs in towards your spine to feel more stable in your center, flex your feet, and then start to switch. One leg in, the other leg out, and switch. And we'll just do this one more round. Left leg in, right leg out. Try not to lean back as much as I'm leaning back if you can. Okay, so switch to the original. Right leg is in, left leg is out. Take your right hand behind us, plant it. Lift your hips up, stargazer. I usually was calling it rock star, but I've heard somebody else call it stargazer, which feels classier, right? I don't know. Let's set your hips down, and then take your left arm down onto your left leg and reach your right arm up and over your ear so that you're feeling right side ribs pull apart and the right sit bone is heavy down to the floor. All right, switch. Sit up, take your left leg in and your right leg out. The pelvis wants to tilt forward, the tailbone scooches behind you as best you could. Okay, again, you can stay with this stretch sensation, or you can move into a strengthening action. You can take the hands to prayer and call in your low belly strength. Use active feet as you're switching. When the feet are dead or sleepy, the leg muscles tend to follow. So see if you can keep feet alive and leg muscles active. Okay, switch to the original. So it's left leg folded in, right leg out. Left hand behind us. Lift your hips up. Stargazer wants you to look up at the stars and reach your right hand away from your right leg to feel length. You could reach your right arm out and feel more chest and shoulders. And then sit your hips back down. Take your legs, soles of the feet together. One more hip stretch here. Lift your heart up. And you can hold your ankles, you can hold your big toes, and then just try to fold over your legs. One more breath. All right, sit yourself up. Change of pace. Feet flat, knees bent at the top of the mat. Squeeze your knees together. They're gonna wanna separate if you don't pay attention. Squeeze them together and let your midline feel more active and connected. Reach your arms up in the air, just like we did in the beginning. Exhale, bend your elbows and lean back so that there's effort. Reach your arms up, inhale. Reach for your toes when you exhale. Round and flex your back, draw your chin to your chest. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, bend your elbows. Arms up, inhale. Reach for your toes, exhale. Two more, there's a lift and a bend. Lift, round your back. Lift up is the inhale. Bend your elbows and stay here. Take your hands to the heart. Hug your ribs in and lengthen your spine. And when you exhale, lean your right elbow down to the right. Use strong obliques, flex them, stay here for another breath. And then come back to center, inhale. Lean to your left. As you exhale, dig in and stay here. Keep squeezing your knees together. Back to center, inhale. One more time to the right, exhale. Center. To your left. Reach arms forward. All right, if your low back is feeling sensitive, stay here and just flex your toes up. If the low back feels like a yes, lift your knees up. This is your boat. Your first boat could be modified like mine. You can bend your knees. Otherwise, stay here. Low back wants it to be here, stay here. If you want to move on, it's knees to chest. And then when you exhale, try to be low, low. Lower down, and then come up. Inhale, knees to chin. And then exhale, lower. Come up, and lower. Gets a little shaky. Lift up, lower down. Okay, good job. Hug your knees in for a second. Relax your head down and take a breath. All right, legs up straight in the air and flex your feet. Bring your heels so that they're right over your hips, if that's a possibility. And you're gonna reach right hand towards left toes, left hand towards right toes, and keep alternating. Your head lifting brings more effort into this whole scenario because your spine, your core, has to work hard or harder to lift that 8 to 10 pounds we talked about. Now, pause with your left hand across your right leg. Flex your feet and lower your left leg almost to the ground. Squeeze your butt. Little pulses of your left arm across for 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay here. We're going to switch to a stretch. Take a hold of your right leg. Lay your left leg down. Lay your head and neck down. You can roll right ankle, or you can push the heel away, or you can point the toes. It's going to change the feeling just a little bit, no matter what you decide. All right, move on with your life. Switch. Right leg almost to the ground, flex your feet, and you're taking the right hand across with these little tiny pulses, making an effort to feel the right side body trying to lift and contract as it lifts. Okay, stay here, switch back to the stretch. Right leg is heavy, you're holding your left leg, and you're bending your elbows rather than shrugging your shoulders to bring more sensation through the leg getting closer. Okay, we're gonna switch things up here by switching more to the glute feeling on your right leg. So bend your right knee, right foot flat, take your hands down by your sides, and it's a one-legged bridge. Lift your hips up and feel this left heel push up to the ceiling. For a lot of us, one side of the pelvis will drop to the ground. See if you can keep it more even. And then let's bring your arms so that they're parallel, like 90 degrees, triceps parallel to the front of the mat, back of the mat. And then you're gonna make one change. Lower your left leg almost to the ground, flex your left toes, hold it here, breathe for 3, 2, and then lower your hips all the way down. Left leg is long and on the floor, okay? Drop your, oh no, don't do that yet. Keep your right foot where it is. This left leg is on the ground. You can look up at me if it's confusing. You're gonna push into both of your feet as is and lift your pelvis off the ground. So it's like this little half bridge with one leg long, and your arms are active. Your shoulders are pressing down, and you can breathe here for 2 breaths. Try to extend through the heels so that maybe you feel more left hamstring on your left leg. And lower your hips down. Now relax your right leg onto its side and see if you can feel all the muscles of your left leg relax for 2 breaths. One more breath. Okay, stand on your right foot, scoot your hips to the right, draw your right leg across us, twist, use left hand to self-assist, let it help the right thigh process, and then you can gaze over at your right hand if you want to. My right shoulder lifts because my shoulders are tight. The intention of your right shoulder is heavy. Even if it's floating, it's still trying to be heavy. All right, roll onto your back. Take a hold of your right foot. Half happy baby. For the next 2 breaths, try to pull down through your right leg and let everything else in your body be pretty quiet and relaxed. Okay, you're starting over. So it's left foot flat in bridge. It's right leg extended into the air. Hands can be helpful by pressing down. Lift up into this one-legged bridge with the pelvis that is parallel to the floor, pretty neutral. Continue to breathe. That's going to help things. And then you're going to lower your right leg almost to the ground. Hover here for 3, 2. It's a lot of left glute, and that's what we're trying to have happen. And now lower all of that down to the mat. Keep this shape. Just take your arms up by your head, arms bent like goalpost or cactus, whatever you want to name it. Push in your left foot and push in the heel of your right foot so that foot is on the ground. And then just lift your pelvis up like 2 inches, and we'll stay here for 3 breaths. So you've got these long, lovely muscles that support your spine, the erector spinae group. When we're trying to light those up, feel more connection to your back, because we honestly we pay attention mostly hips down, left leg on its side. We pay attention to what we're looking at, and you can't really see the back of your body, so you don't pay maybe as close of attention to it, but we are trying to light up some sensation there. All right, stand on your left foot, scoot your hips to the left a little bit, and then again, one more passive twist. Take your left leg across us, reach your right hand for your left thigh, and then look over your left shoulder. Let your left shoulder be heavy, and we'll take a couple breaths here. Okay, roll back to your back. Take your left foot in the air, reach out and take a hold of your left leg. Pull down through your left foot, down through your left thigh bone, and let the rest of the body be soft. Okay, last thing on your back. Bend your right knee, full happy baby. Take a hold of both feet and move it around any kind of way here for a few breaths. All right, hug your knees in. You can take your hands behind your knees or on your hamstrings. Just rock up and back a few times, up and back. All right, find your way up to downward facing dog. I'm gonna put my hair up because we're about to get serious. Very serious. The gentle, happy, kind, nice part of class is over now. I hope you enjoyed it. We're moving on to downward facing dog and taking a couple of breaths. You can move your down dog around as much or as little as you want to. And make sure your wrists are happy with you getting upside down right away. If they're not happy with that, fix that by coming down to the knees and stretching out your wrists for a second. Okay. With your hips square and your hands really strong, stand on your left leg and take your right leg up in the air, okay? With your pelvis square, so right baby toe faces the ground, take these little tiny pulses of your right leg up and down an inch. So you can feel maybe you push forward a little bit. Try to press your chest back, that's it. And then same situation, you're gonna keep doing this pulse, but just shorten the leg, bend the knee, and push up and down through the heel. So when you bend your knee, you flex your hamstring, and you might feel a little bit more of that action happening right now. All right, kick your own butt, point your right knee at the ceiling, and try to open your pelvis towards the right side of the room that you're in. And now square your hips. Point your right toes up in the air with an inhale. Right knee, right tricep, exhale. Right leg up. 2 more, knee to the tricep. 1 more. Knee to the tricep, half pigeon. So take your right shin across the top of the mat, lay your back knee down and tuck your toes. Take your left hand and hold your right heel, helping to ground your foot. And then if it's not too much, take your right hand to your right upper thigh with the fingers facing out like mine. Roll out and down through the flesh of your right thigh bone, and then push down into the top of the back foot. Squeeze your shoulder blades together to back bend. Breathe big into your chest here. If any of this felt like, oh my God, no, then you follow that path and you stop doing it because you don't want to hurt yourself. Put your hands down, tuck your back toes, step back to down dog. Step on your right foot and straighten the leg. Softly bend your left knee, press back, look to the right. Okay, look to center. Lift your left leg up, you're starting over. Little pulses of your left heel up and down an inch. Heart presses back, the heel lifts and lowers. Spread your fingers, breathe. Okay, left knee bends. Left heel towards the ceiling, a little lift and lower of your left heel. You might be feeling more glute, more hamstring. You might not. Make sure you're grounding your inner hands. Open your pelvis to the left side of the room. Drop your right heel heavy. You might roll your left ankle out a little bit. Okay, left leg up straight. Big inhale there. Left knee, left tricep, exhale. Left leg up. Knee to the tricep. One more. Knee to the tricep. Shin across the mat, half pigeon. Untuck the back toes, lay your pelvis heavy, and a lot of us have the left hip tighter. I might be generalizing, I'm generalizing. But if the left side is tighter, just take a regular variation, but if you want, ground your right hand, left heel, ground your left hand on the outer thigh and roll the flesh out. Push into the top of your back foot. So do you see my knee lifting? It brings you a world more hip flexor, and squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your heart up into a back bend. This is a lot going on. So I hope you're taking it like bite by bite, and every single bite is like, yes, keep biting. And if it ever says no, then you stop. Put your hands down, hook your back toes, step back onto your left foot, and your left leg is straight, your right knee is bent. Then you can look over to the left and press back. And then just pedal your knees out. Move your hips a little bit side to side. Okay, bring yourself into more of a neutral downward facing dog. Press the heart back. Hang from the ceiling by your tailbone, so keep tilting the tailbone up and dropping your heart down. Okay, look forward, pull forward to a plank as you inhale. Hike your hips up, downward facing dog when you exhale. Take that 3 more times. You could round your back on the way there, and then bend your knees almost to the ground. Press back, press back, press back, lift the hips. Roll forward, head drips forward, and then the neck extends. You could bend the knees and press back. You could be doing regular forward and backs to plank. There doesn't have to be any specific thing happening here other than you staying connected. Okay, plank is your inhale. Look forward of your mat. Resist gravity and try to lower down. Super, super, super slow. And once you get down to the mat, untuck your toes and ground them on the floor. Ground your toes so much that your knees are lifted and your thighs are active. Squeeze your butt. Your butt supports your low spine. Doesn't prevent your low spine from doing anything. It supports it. And lift up on your low belly. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your heart up, cobra. And when you exhale, try to soften all of those muscles, all of that energy down. And you could do that 2 more times. There is so much to think about in cobra. I used to find this pose so boring because I thought I was supposed to lower down, relax. I thought I was supposed to be more flexible and look more like the Cirque du Soleil. I know I'm saying that right. Cirque du Soleil people that I see on Instagram, you know? Because comparing yourself in yoga poses is always a good idea. Stay up, take your fingers wider, but cobra is actually pretty interesting without needing to go ham. But if you wanted to go a little more ham, you could take your hands wider than that, tighten your fingertips, take your feet a little wider, and then rock your shoulders side to side. Do engage your glutes so that your low back feels, again, supported and stable. That's a lovely thing to feel. And then lower all the way down to your heart. Put your hands under your shoulders. Dust. Take your toes to touch. Press all the way back. Sit on your feet with your arms out long in front of you. Child's pose. Try to land in it and let your body be heavy for a second. Okay, we're gonna practice chaturanga form, but it's shortened body because we're down on the knees. Keep your toes touching. Spread your fingers wide. Lift up to tabletop as you inhale. Lift your toes. And as you exhale, a half plank, lower down, heads and arm bones are back, and then inhale, lift up. As you exhale, sit all the way back to your feet. As you inhale, tabletop, come up. As you exhale, lower. The heads of the arm bones are not rolling in. We're keeping the collarbones wide so that we practice more heart space. And we're keep going. If this is hurting you, what do? That's right, stop doing it. That's like a pretty good life rule that a lot of us, myself included, have a hard time following. If something is hurting you and causing you pain, stop doing it. Sit all the way back to your feet. One more time, try to pull forward, lift up, inhale. Bend your elbows, long spine, look forward. Stay here. Lengthen your legs, lower your pelvis, and then just shimmy gently side to side I feel what that experience is like. Now sit back to your right heel and then move your body to the left heel. Big circle of tabletop all the way past left hand, right hand. Sit back to the right heel, left heel. Pull all the way around one more time. And then stop. And then go over to the right, all the way around. And over to the right, all the way around. Okay. Sit back to your heels and come up to a pretty neutral tabletop. Draw your belly down or lift your head upward as you inhale. Round your back, exhale. Drop your belly like cow, lift your head up. And then round, flex your back one more time. Okay, neutral spine. Left hand under left shoulder. We're gonna try and get into your mid-back a little bit more. Take your right hand to the back of your head. Lift your right elbow up into the ceiling. Now your hips are gonna push over to the right. Push them back so that they stay over your knees. Take a big inhale here. And when you exhale, draw your right elbow to meet your left elbow. Hug your ribs in. Keep your hips still. Inhale your right elbow up. Keep grounding your left hand. Exhale, elbow to elbow. Protract, pull your shoulder blades apart. And then retract, reach your shoulder blades to touch. And then one more time, protract, pull them apart. And then this time, retract, right arm up, inhale. And as you exhale, sweep right arm under your left arm like twisted tabletop, but hover, hover, hover. As you inhale, sweep right arm up. As you exhale, sweep right arm under, hover. Lift up. One more time, sweep it under, hover, hover, hover. And now lay your right shoulder down on the ground. Do the stretch. Reach your left arm forward. Press down through your right shoulder. Send your hips a little bit to the right and breathe twice. One more breath. Okay, now listen. The toes that you're facing are your left toes. Kick your left toes a little bit off the mat. Put your left hand under your left elbow. And now sweep right arm up in the air. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. So if that was confusing, you're in side plank on your left knee and your left hand, okay? Stretch out your right side. Reach your right arm to the front wall. This is your inhale. As you exhale, lift the right leg and reach back toward it. Okay, stretch it out again. Drop the leg, lift, and reach forward. And then reach up, lift the leg. One more time like that. Reach away. And then lift. Stay here. Bend your right knee, reach back. See if you can take a hold of your foot. If possible, hold the foot and either pull heel to butt or kick back, but either way, do you see how my heart's turning up? That's the situation we're trying to create. One more breath. Now we're gonna make our way to a three-legged down dog. So right leg stays up, right hand finds the floor. Put your left toes on the mat and tuck them. Take your left knee off the ground, right leg up in the air, big inhale. Right knee to nose, exhale. Two more, lift. Knee to the nose. One more, lift. Knee to your nose. Look forward. Step your right foot forward, back knee down, low lunge. Reach your arms up in the ceiling. When you exhale, bend your elbows and spread your fingers. Stay here, take a breath in. Now just like in the beginning, round your back, bring forearms to touch. And do that twice more. Inhale, open up wide. And then exhale, lean forward. One more time, open up wide. Lean forward. Pull back as your inhale. Take the hands to prayer when you exhale. Lengthen your spine. Twist to the right. Okay, so when you twist to the right, connect your tricep to your thigh bone. And do you see how I'm kind of sagging in the chest? It's as bad as it sounds. We don't want a saggy heart. Lift your heart up towards your hands. Squeeze your glutes together and try to feel space through this right side body. So pull the right sit bone back and decide to stay here or lift your back knee up. Whenever I lift my back knee up, I find it helpful to adjust the stance a little bit, like hopping the back foot in. And then again, your hips are gonna try and point out to the right. Push them in to the left and squeeze your inner thighs. Breathe twice more and keep rotating the heart towards the hands without moving your hips. All right, no matter where your back knee is, up or down, reach arms forward, hover here for 3, 2, and 1, back knee down. hands down, front leg straight, half splits. So you could imagine that there's a wall behind you, which there is, but imagine that your seat could touch it. Try to have both sit bones where they would be neutral to the wall behind you and your front heel pressing down. Long spine, and then lower it. Take 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. Okay, take this right foot over to the left side of the mat. And this is an IT band stretch, and it's quite a doozy. Tip your right toes onto the razor's edge side of your foot. Now you can stay like this, or you can lower down, and that is truly the most natural noise that your body wants to make when you do this stretch. It's like, I feel that. And so a lot of people complain about having a tight IT band. It's kind of like the seam of your jeans, which like you don't really want the seam of your jeans to be blown out. You do want it to be secure. So it's very natural if you have a tight IT band. It's trying to hold you up like my pants. Okay, back to center with your right leg. Pull forward with your right knee. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee up. Step back to a plank, take a big inhale. Lower all the way down. Untuck your toes, cobra is your inhale. Child's pose is your exhale. Sit all the way back to your feet. Relax your head down onto the ground and take a couple breaths. It's really hot. That's why I'm not in child's pose. I'm too hot. Okay. Let's do the other side. If you are ready and willing, come on up to tabletop, okay? Put your hands right underneath your shoulders, neutral spine, so that you see that little hug up of the ribs. That's what we want. Take your left hand to the back of your skull, and then reach your left elbow up into the air. Notice where the hips flung. Bring them back over your knees. Keep them there by flexing your belly. Lift up at the elbow. Exhale, left elbow to the right elbow. And lift back up, inhale. Elbow to elbow, exhale. 2 more. The right hand is not forgotten. It stays grounded and it helps us feel stable through the right side. Okay, this time, left arm up in the air, big inhale. Sweep left arm under the right arm. Bend your right elbow like a push-up, and then sweep it back out. Inhale. Sweep it under, twist. Sweep it up and open. 1 more time, sweep it under. Sweep it up. Okay, this time do the stretch. Sweep left arm underneath your right arm. Reach your right arm to the top of your mat. And then your hips probably went over to the right. See if you can push them back to the left and then ground your chest. You see how there's this lowering action of right arm and chest. Try to take 1 more expansive breath. Now, your right toes are the ones that you could technically see. They're on the side you're facing. Kick your right toes a little bit off your mat to help prep us. Put your right hand underneath your right elbow. And now we're going to try and make this clunky transition sexy and smooth. Sweep your left arm out, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Now, if you're like me and you've scooched off your mat, you can readjust. Ain't no shame. And then we'll lengthen your left side. So reach left arm away from your left foot. Take a big inhale here. And when you exhale, lift your left leg, reach back. And we'll do that twice more if you want. Lengthen is the inhale. Lift is your exhale. 1 more time, lengthen. And then lift. Stay here, bend your right knee and reach back. Or sorry, this is your left knee. Bend your left knee and reach back. Take a hold of your left foot and either heel to butt or kick back. But either way, try to turn your heart up to the ceiling. And then if you can notice my right elbow, it might bend out to the right. Try and swing it towards your body to help open up your chest and squeeze your shoulders. Okay, left hand to the ground, left leg stays up. Okay, we're back on the mat with your right toes. Tuck them. Lift your right knee up, big inhale, 3-legged down dog. Knee towards nose, round your back. Left leg up, knee towards nose. 1 more. Knee towards nose. Step forward. Back knee down on the ground. Low lunge, arms up. Big inhale. Bend your elbows like in the beginning. Stay here for your breath in. Lean forward, round your back. Inhale, pull open. And exhale, lean forward. Pull open. Last round, lean forward. This is a good deal of balance. Really want to ground your back foot. Take your hands to heart center. Lengthen your spine. Twist to your left. Take your right tricep across your left thigh. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze your glutes. Press your left hand with a lot of authority. And then decide, I'm good. Or decide that you want to move on. And if you want to move on, tuck your back toes and lift your back knee. So whenever I do this, I can feel my hips sailing out to the left. Try to swing them back into the midline and then pop your heart up a little bit. Squeeze down energy on your heel, up on your glute. Take 2 more breaths. And if it feels easy, lift your vision. That will stop feeling easy. Now, no matter where your back knee is at, up or down, reach the arms forward and try to hover over your left leg and breathe with me here for 3. That's it. 2. And 1. Hands come down, right knee to the floor, left leg is straight. So you want to have a square pelvis if you can. For a lot of us, one of the sit bones will be off. So find a way to bring them into more neutral space. You can push down through your heel and flex your toes. You could point your toes. You might notice more shin, ankle if you point. All up to you. You are in charge. Okay, that IT band stretch again is a possibility. So bring your left leg over to the right side of your mat, tip over onto the left side of your left leg. And then you can fold a little bit more over your left leg, or you can be like, no, I don't want to do that with my body, and you would be right. That is a feeling. Okay, let's make a change. Bring your left leg back to center. Tuck your back toes. Try to have your left foot pointing at this top right-hand corner of your mat that you can look at. And try to come into skandasana, which is the one-legged deep squat. Bring your hands to prayer, or you might open up right arm up in the air. Okay, we're gonna try and switch it to the back leg. So see if you can stand on the sole of your right foot, either hands to prayer or left arm up. Oof. Can you hear that horn? Why is it? No matter where I film with you, there's always somebody trying to create a ruckus. That's just life, isn't it? Right? We have tools for this. There, it stopped. Look how patient we are. Okay, take your feet to neutral and then lean side to side into your hips. Try to bring some feeling side to side. Okay, we're gonna turn to the back of your mat. That's your right leg. And we're gonna take pyramid pose. So hips square-ish. If you happen to have blocks or books or VHS tapes stacked and taped together, it makes a good block, I'm not kidding. You can use that because we want ease right here. You want to be able to touch the ground easily. Isn't it funny how we can like distract ourselves with anything? Like, I'm not even that much of a clean freak, and like all these little specks I can see on my black mat, I'm like, dust be gone. I must vanquish you. But really, I'm just like trying to distract myself from myself. Aren't we cute? Okay, stay here or standing splits. And you could make these little efforts towards a handstand if that's something that you do with your body. That never has to be something you do with your body, and you could have this long, powerful, successful life. Hands could float. There's so many options for you. Okay, step your left foot back. Turn to the center of the mat, and let's do toes in, heels out for just a beat. Relax your head down, and take your hands somewhere, like your heels, your big toes. You can walk your arms out in front. This can be nice as like a short, wide down dog. All right, turn to the top of the mat. Pyramid pose. And we'll take a few breaths. You can touch the floor like we talked about, if that's easy for you. Easy is not a bad thing. Easy can be great, right? Have you ever felt bad that you're not like easier? I think about that a lot. Like, I wish I was easier. But you know what? It's fun that you're challenging or difficult or whatever it is you are. It's fun. I'm not kidding. People like it. Okay. Standing splits could be a thing that you bring into your life, or like standing splits-ish. You can also try a handstand again. If you're feeling so brave and inclined, then do that. Just take a couple breaths. Okay, let's feel hips one more moment. Step right foot to the edge of the mat. Step left foot to the edge of the mat. Drop your booty down. Take your hands to prayer, malasana. So can you see how my knees are like pushed forward? That's natural. See if you can push your baby toes down and back a little bit. Drop your butt and sit up tall, and we'll take a couple breaths. Okay, our first full vinyasa of this whole practice, and it might be our last. Who knows? We're living by the seat of our pants, people. Take your hands down to the mat, step or jump back to a plank, and then lower down either halfway or all the way, chaturanga. And then you can take up dog, or you can take cobra, and then press back, downward facing dog. Okay. As you inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop forward. Half lift as we inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Stand all the way up, touch the ceiling. Let your hands meet. Take them right down to your heart. Guess what? We're gonna do 2 sun salutations, and then we're gonna cool down, and then we're gonna move on with our lives because we have shit to do. Okay. There's this wonderful therapist that I follow online. Oops, there you are. There's this wonderful therapist that I follow online. It's called Mindful MFT, I think. But she posted this thing the other day that said, we're all gonna suffer, right? That's just life, we're gonna suffer. But you get to decide whether you're going to cling to it, hold on to it for dear life, or if you're gonna use it to be part of your healing. So, I think we should probably use it to heal us. Take whatever it is that's in your life right now and use it as the fuel. Take a deep breath in. Drop your hands. Reach your arms up in the air. Big inhale. Bow to yourself, nice and slow. As you inhale, lengthen your spine in both directions. Lift up on your tailbone and your head. Hands down, step or jump back to plank. Low plank as you exhale. And up dog when we inhale. Downward facing dog, pike your hips up. Take a breath in and out here. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop forward. Half lift, inhale, tailbone up, heart forward. And as you exhale, bow to yourself. Stand up, breathing in. Forward fold, keep going. Half lift, inhale. Hands down. You can step or jump to chaturanga or plank. Take a back bend. And then take down dog. Give yourself some new life, breathing in. Give yourself some release, kick it out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop. Half lift, breathing in. Forward fold, breathing out. Stand up, bring your left knee to your chest. All right, I lied to you. Let's do 1 standing balance series because we're feeling energetic, aren't we? And then warrior 3. Left foot to the back wall. Lift your shoulder blades like cobra and breathe twice. Slowly step back, arms overhead. Ooh, a lot of balance. Arms overhead, big inhale. Bend your elbows and your knees. Reach up. Bend your elbows and your knees. Reach up, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale. Reverse, reach all the way up, inhale. Front leg straight, triangle. Turn your right toes out a little bit. Keep this cute lumbar curve. And then open your arms super big. Breathe twice. 1 more breath. Left hand down, bend your front knee. Roll onto the outer edge of the back foot. Step to wild thing. Take 3 breaths. So it's side plank on your left hand and foot. It's right knee bent, right heel up, right arm out wide. I know, I'm out of breath too. Plank, big inhale. Vinyasa, if that feels important to you, create it. If it doesn't, skip it. Downward facing dog. Okay, all we gotta do, bend your knees, look forward, inhale. Walk or hop. Half lift, hips over your heels. Forward fold, head heavy. Stand up, right knee to chest, inhale. Warrior 3, exhale. Heart goes forward. There's a lift like cobra in your chest. And I always bend the standing knee because it asks for more muscle and it keeps your pelvis more neutral. Step back, land on your big toes. Reach your arms overhead. Take a big inhale. When you exhale, bend your elbows and your knees. Reach up and bend. You can always maintain stillness. One more time. Bend everything. Straighten everything. Reach out to warrior 2. Bend your front knee. Be honest about how long your legs are. Create distance. And then reverse. Stretch up left side body. And then lengthen left leg. I turn the toes out a little bit because Judith, that teacher that I'm obsessed with, said to. And I do whatever she says. So really it's to bring your thigh and your shin bone turning out a little bit, right? Open up this groin. Lean back in your shoulder blades and let your right hip pull forward a little bit. So just imagine this left thigh bone being able to pull back. One more breath. Okay, right hand down, bend your front knee. Wild thing, steps your left foot behind your straight right leg. Squeeze your butt and lift your hips. Plank, big inhale. Listen, half pigeon, the real edition. Bring your right knee outside your right wrist. Stay there. I'm gonna grab the music that you can't hear, that I can hear. So if you are listening to the playlist that this goes with, you were listening to Current Mood 177. And you're probably in the middle of some intense music right now. And I suggest that you take it down a notch to Barely Friends by Drama. How good is that band? It's really good. Okay. So if you have like a block or a couch cushion or a pillow or whatever, that could be pretty gorgeous to put yourself on, or just lay here. We're not going to be here very long. We'll be here like 6 breaths, and we're just going to marinate in all the sensations that you just built up. If that was triggering to you, like it got you to feel reactive, good. That's what it's supposed to do. And now you get to employ your tools to calm your sweet self down. Take big breaths. Notice those pockets of clenching, clinging. We have these habitual spaces where we're tense, and that tension is how we avoid feeling what we don't want to feel. Like if I were to relax my hips a little bit more, maybe that feeling would be too intense for me to feel. But that's something we already talked about at the beginning. You have the capacity to feel all these feelings and survive, right? Alright, switch your legs. Put your hands down, tuck your back toes, step your right foot back, stand on it, soften your left knee and relax. Alright, send your left knee to half pigeon. Untuck your toes, relax your hips down. Get onto forearms, stay on hands, do what feels on this side, as I tell you all the time. The sides of your body are different and they ask for different things. So do try to listen when you get into your second side of something, and don't just try to jam it because the right side did it, so the left side has to do it. It doesn't work that way. And I know that like the end of a yoga class or just life in general can get boring. I feel like we need to practice being bored more and not being able to reach out to our pacifiers, our cell phones, or our easy buttons. We need to practice being like, okay, so I'm a little bored right now, or I'm a little lonely right now, or I'm a little irritated right now. That's just how it is. And use the sensations that you're building up in your hips, in your shoulders, in your whole physical body. Use those sensations as these little islands of safety for you to step on, so you can stand in right now. You can stand in reality rather than being like, oh, I'm bored. Let me think about what's going to happen at work today, or like, let me relive that fight I had because I think I have a really better ending to it, or like a better insult. I do that all the time, and it is a goddamn waste of your energy, and it just gets you all worked up for no reason. All right, sweet angel. Lean to your left, sweep your back leg all the way around, roll onto your back. If you have a music maker with you, put it within reach. And I would go to the last song, Dream 13, so it's like this nice piano situation. Otherwise, stay in silence and take Happy Baby. And then decide if you want one last thing that's not Happy Baby, like if you wanted to do seated folds, or if you wanted to do back bends here. All of that is absolutely brilliant. Okay, trust yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself. That's the whole point of this thing. Not so that you become a professional yogi, but so that you remember how trustworthy you are. And like, your decision making is perfect. You know how to take care of yourself. You know how to protect yourself, I promise you. Take your last thing and then lay down or sit or do whatever it is you do to meditate and release in Shavasana. Okay, because we do need to practice giving up control. It's bananas that we think we have control anyways. I'm gonna leave you to it, so you take as long a rest as you want to, but please, I do encourage you to rest a little bit, even if it's just for 10 breaths or 10 seconds. It's worthwhile. I'm so proud of you. If you made it to the end of this practice, even if you didn't, I'm so proud of you. You took some time, you were courageous, you were vulnerable, you are powerful. Get out there and be honest with your life. Take one more deep breath together, and then give it up.